Hey everyone, welcome back to Bus Simulator on the PS4. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and basically because last night I had my first crash of the game, and luckily I didn't lose any of my save data, but the game did crash, so it made me kind of nervous because I'm level 13 and I've been hearing a lot of things that like around 11 and 12 is when the game starts crashing, and a lot of people are losing their save data and they're having to kind of start all over again. So I did back it up to the cloud, but fortunately it didn't really do anything to my save data. So I'm going to put this out there is that I'm having a lot of fun with this game. I think it's a great game, but I would kind of advise anybody that if you haven't bought the game yet and you're thinking about buying it, I would definitely say hold off until the patch comes out, which it should literally be any day now. The patch is with Sony. I guess Sony has signed off on it, but I guess Sony had an issue with it. So, you know, fingers crossed. Hopefully Monday morning, sometime, maybe Tuesday at the latest, the patch will come out for Sony. I guess they're having a little more issues with the Xbox. I'm not really sure what the problem is there. I don't have an Xbox, so I don't know, but that seems to be the case, that the patch for Sony should be out really soon, and Xbox hopefully will be out sometime this week. So with that being said, I would say maybe hold off buying it till later this week, until the patch comes out. Kind of watch my channel, follow them on Facebook or Twitter is kind of what I would recommend. But today what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of the buses that you're going to start off with. They're the first 3 buses that you're going to get pretty early in the game. The Citaro K is the one that you start off with that you see here, and then the Setra S416 LE Business is the next in line, and then the Lion City A37 is what we're going to look at today. So Citaro K, this is a Mercedes. It seats 28. It has enough room for 18 people to stand. 10.6 meters long, a little over 2.5 meters wide, 3 meters high, 10 tons, I believe that means. The turning radius is 8.6. This bus is a really nice bus to drive. It's you know, it almost turns like a car. You know, you don't have to take the turns very wide. You know, great bus to start out in, a really enjoyable bus to drive. This has a Blue Tech Diesel Euro 6 engine, which when you do the tutorial, the lady driving with you seems to be pretty proud of that Blue Tech Diesel. 2 axles, 220 kilowatts max power. This has a Voith Daiwa 6 gearbox. I believe this is an automatic. So that means this bus is, well, wait a minute, let me see here. Yeah. This is definitely automatic, so that means that even if you had it in a realistic mode, you won't have to shift this bus, because in real life this bus is an automatic. This isn't a manual. This bus is going to cost you $500 a week to run, and it's $108,000 to buy. Okay, so the next bus is the Setra S416 LE Business. This is a bigger bus. This seats 49. This only has enough places for 8 people to stand. This is 13 meters long, 2.55 meters wide, 3.3 meters high, and this is 12.3 tons. So quite a bit heavier than the last bus. Now this has a turn radius of 11.9 meters, so you are going to have to turn wider with this bus. You're not going to be able to make the sharp turns that you can with the Citaro K, so you're going to have to slow down and just take the turns a little wider, and be sure to check your mirrors. So this is running a diesel OM 936 Euro 6 engine, 2 axles, 220 kilowatts max power. This has the GO190-6 gearbox. Now this is a manual. transmission. So if you are playing in the realistic driving mode, you can shift gears through this one manually. This one's going to cost you $750 a week to run, and it's $142,200 to buy. Now this here is the Man Lion City A37. This is another really nice bus. I like this one a lot. I haven't driven every bus on here, but I have driven these three, and I really like this one. This seats 35. This has enough room for 25 people to stand. This is 12 meters long, 2.5 meters wide, and 3 meters tall. 12 tons, so it's a little lighter than the last bus. This has 11.1 meter turn radius, so this is a little better than the Setra that we've seen prior. But it's still going to have to go a little wide on the turns, a little wider than you would with the Citaro K. This has a diesel DO836 LOH engine, 2 axles, 213 kilowatts of max power. This has the Voith Daiwa 6, so this is an automatic. This will cost you $550 a week to maintain, and it'll cost you $216,000 to own. Alright, so the first bus we're going to take a look at is the Citaro K Mercedes, and we're going to just take a walk around the outside of it. Take a nice little look here. So this bus has 2 doors. Go inside, take a look at the interior. I've never been in one of these, and my personal opinion by just looking at this in the game is that the seats don't look that comfortable. Not that comfortable at all. Alright, so let's get in the cockpit and see what we have here. So there's a couple things that I kind of found out that I didn't know about before that I'm definitely going to pass on to you guys. So what we're going to do is first is we're going to zoom in and we're going to take a look at all the controls that we have on the dashboard that we can play with. So over here we have the actual driver door, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, you have drive, neutral, and reverse, so this is an automatic. This button here, this is your speed limiter. This will make sure you don't go over the speed limit. These are your warning lights, your 4-way flashers. This is your engine toggle. The parking brake, that parking brake button doesn't work. This should be, yep, this is your handicap ramp. And then these are your doors, your front and your rear. This is your ignition. Basically, you just click this 3 times to start. Over here, you have your windshield wipers and your high beams. And yeah, that's it for that. Here you have your lights. You can cycle off, parking lights, and your headlights. Now, here's another switch for your far light, which is your high beams. Then you have the ticket machine, cockpit lights, which I'm going to shut off because during the day I don't need them on, and your passenger lights. Over here you have your parking brake, and here you can open this window by just holding down X and using the right analog stick to slide it open. And I kind of zoom out, come up here and go down so it doesn't shut it. Up here you have your radio. And now, the one thing that I want to show you is this here. This says retarder. Now, this is something that I just learned about. Basically, this is an engine brake. If you're a guy who tries tractor and trailer, you'll know about these. If you don't know anything about that, basically what that does is that when this is engaged, when you let off the gas, it'll slow down the vehicle. And it has 3 stages to that. Now, I've tried it, and personally, I don't really care for it, but we're going to see how that works in a second. So let's start the bus up. Shut the doors. Okay, so right now I'm in sandbox mode, and I'm in free drive mode, so I don't have any any pickups, any stops, anything like that, we're just going to be able to drive. So right now I do have the speed limiter on. So let's take a quick drive. So right now, yeah, just don't even pay attention to her. So right now the retarder's off, and as you can see when I let off the gas, it slows down gradually. But it does slow down. So if I just stop the bus and put the retarder on 1, and it's pretty cool, you can see in the dashboard how it says 1. I don't even know if this will be that noticeable, but let's get back up to speed. And if I let off the gas, it slows down considerably faster than if I had it off, as you can see. So let's just stop the bus again, zoom back in, and hit level 2, which level 2 and level 3 it gets a little ridiculous. Let's get up to speed. So as you can see at level 2, it even slows down faster. So that's just me letting off the gas. I'm not hitting brake or anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around this corner here till we get this straightaway, and then we'll bump it up to level 3, which level 3 is just really ridiculous. And like I say again, I don't think that you need the retarder on, but it's there if you want it. Get around this corner here. Okay, so let me just stop here. Kick this up to 3. I'll get up to speed. Let off the gas and see what that looks like. Okay, so now I'm gonna let off the gas, and it slows down really quick. That's really fast, and I mean that's the stop. So we're going to take that out because, again, I'm not too crazy about that. And that is the Citaro K. Okay, so our next bus is the Setra Business. Take a quick run around the outside of it, take a see what this looks like. Now, this is a longer bus than the Citaro K. So let's hop in here, in the cockpit, and the first thing I'm going to say with this one is that what I'm not crazy about, and I don't know why it doesn't work, but to leave the cockpit, for some reason, you got to really get far like that on the driver door to get out. It's a little bit of a pain. So normally what I do when I'm in this bus, I'll just hit left on the D-pad, up, and leave the cockpit that way. Okay, so getting back in, zoom in here. There's the retarder on this bus, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, this is a manual transmission if you choose to drive that way. Front door, rear door, your hazard lights, your radio, your ignition. Over here you have your cockpit lights, your ticket machine lights, and your passenger lights. Here you have your indicator, and the fire light, which is, again, that's your brights, and your windshield wipers. They're right all on there. And I think, yeah, and your horn too. And also, as you can see, this switch is your horn. Engine toggle, I think that turns it off once it's on. I can check that out. There's your ramp. There's your parking brake. And here's your headlights. So let's start this one up, see what it sounds like. So if you hit the engine toggle, yep, that turns it off and turns it on once the power's on. So interesting. So again, passenger mirror, sun shield, driver window, open it up. To adjust the seat, go into your menu here, press left on the D-pad, press left here to the control menu, and seat adjustment. And that's how you do your seat adjustments. Now, on these buses, the power does have to be on because the seats are power seats. So that's a pretty cool thing, I thought. Alright, so let's close the doors. Turn our limiter on, and again, with this one, you're going to have to take the turn a little wider because it is longer. You don't want to hit those curbstones. And that is the Setra. Okay, so this is definitely one of my favorite buses in the game. This is the Man Lion City. Very cool bus. This has 3 doors on it. Take a look around. I even like the way the bus looks, actually. This is just such a nice looking bus. Let's get this one. Take a look around. Plenty of room in this one. Again, the seats don't look the most comfortable, but after all, it's just a city bus. It's not like it's a coach. Board the cockpit. And let's see what we have here. So this one, you have 3 doors. You got your front door, your middle door, and your rear door. And this is an automatic, and there's your drive, neutral, and reverse. Over here you have your speed limiter, your bus ramp, and your parking brake. Your ignition's right there. There's the retarder. Indicator, brights, and windscreen wipers right there, windshield wipers. Anyway, cockpit lights, passenger lights, hazard lights, and ticket machine lights. Then you got your parking and your headlights here. Parking brake here. There's your radio, most important part of the bus. And there's the window there. Actually, that may be the most important part. And I really like the fact that when you open that window, you can really hear what's going on outside. Alright, so close the doors, take the parking brake off, and off we go. Now, I don't know if it's just me or what, but it seems like all these buses are a little different with the controls. With the steering and the handling. Now, this one here, this is longer than the Citaro K, but it seems like it handles a lot better than the Setra. That's probably why this is one of my favorite buses. And that is the Man Lion City. Great bus. Like that a lot. Alright guys, so that's where we're going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'll put a link to my Discord in the description. And we'll see you next time. on Bus Simulator.